Good morning, and welcome back to your favorite morning show right here on Wake Up and Ball on Roundtable Sports Network, brought to you by BetUS. We're excited. It's another day closer to the NFL Divisional Round, another day removed from the wildcard weekend, head coaching news, head coaching drama. I mean, there's so much to get into. It's been a joy to wake up and ball with you all. Please make sure to hit the like button. Shout out to Raphael in the chat, Gabriel, Chris. Get the coffee, no cream though. You know it. Look at that. No cream in my coffee. Welcome to the show, TD. Good morning, my friend.
What's up, Richie? Good morning to everybody. Get the coffee, TD, no cream. I see you, Chris. No, you got to have cream and sugar. You ain't got to have sugar, just enough cream. All right? Make sure you do whatever it takes to get up and ball. Let's go.
My goal is to get you one day to just open up the mind of the pure coffee flavor. Come on, TD. It's delicious. Ooh.
No.
All right. Come on, TD. You know what it is. You don't got no coffee.
Somebody said we can't rap, Richie.
Oh, why don't you prove him wrong? Or prove him right, rather.
I prove him right. Let's get it right. Waking up every morning, quench your thirst, drinking Sprite.
You don't quench your thirst with Sprite, bro. Get out of here.
No, I'm just saying. You don't know the slogan for Sprite?
Yeah, well, that was back in the day.
Yeah, that was back in the day. So, hey, Richie, hey, listen.
I forgot, Unc. All right. All right.
Hey, man, listen, we charge for bars, baby. We charge for bars, all right?
We charge for bars, he says. Charge is for the bars. So, welcome, everybody, to Wake Up and Ball. We appreciate. Now, listen, there's so much to get into today, TD. There's so much exciting stuff to get into, that is, right? So, I feel like let's start off with how you're doing. And when's the last time you thought about your Miami Dolphins? Like, are you in Dolphins mode, or is the offseason, like, in playoff mode kind of remove you from the Dolphins mode a little bit? Because there's no head coaching search for Miami. There's no GM search for Miami like there is for the Jets, like there was for the Patriots. The Bills are in a playoff race. But for Miami, like, where are you at? Like, are you even thinking about who you're going to draft, who you're going to get in the free agency, who's gone? Like, where's your mind at as a Dolphins fan? Or are they like, all right, I'm taking my break for the Miami Dolphins until the offseason really ramps up?
I'm like so nonchalant when it comes to the Dolphins right now.
Because like the reality sunk in, yeah, I get you. I hear you.
No. I mean, I think next year we're gonna have a phenomenal season. Yeah, but for different reasons though, Richie. I don't think we win in the Super Bowl or nothing like that. Now eventually we'll be Super Bowl bound once we bring in all the great players, but we're gonna use up our cap for the future. We're gonna use draft picks for the future. We're going to try to make the best roster we possibly can because we have a general manager who now is on the clock. He's on not the hot seat, the burning seat. Okay. And what general managers typically do when they do that, they don't care about the future. They're trying to live and survive another day. So they'll screw the future up just for the now. And that's what's going to happen. The Dolphins are going to have one of the most loaded teams that they've ever had. And from there, we'll get to the playoffs, I believe. We'll lose in the first round, and the whole regime will be fired, and we'll finally get what we want. So I'm not worried about the Dolphins. I'm excited about all the additions we bring in. It's going to give us false hope, but I'm going to ride that hope. I'm going to hope for it to be great. I'm going to hope it's going to win a Super Bowl. But guess what? Internally, deep down, I've already created that wall to say if it doesn't, I can't say I didn't expect it. So that's where I am with the Dolphins. I'm not worried about the draft or anything yet. I'll worry about the draft in the middle of February or something like that. Right now, I'm taking a little break to enjoy playoff football.
Good. You should take your break, which is why I asked you that question, because the Miami Dolphins can drive you nuts. All right. So let's get into some other conversations. We haven't talked about the Dolphins in a little bit, so I thought to sprinkle in to start off with your little Miami Dolphins. All right. Let's start off with what we talked about yesterday and kind of pick that discussion. Deion going to Dallas. Deion Sanders and Jerry Jones continue to have talks. This is heating up. Stephen A. Smith on First Take said that he believes if Jerry Jones offered him the job, Deion would accept the job. I don't know if the dynamic between Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders would work, just because of Jerry Jones is a control freak, and you would have to hand the keys to Deion Sanders in order for it to work. You go look at Colorado, that's Deion Sanders' program. He has his fingers on every little thing that's going on over there, which is why he was able to turn that program around and make them relevant again. In a world, do you actually see this happening, TD? Like, where's your mind at today? Is this legit? And did Jerry Jones make this decision by moving on from Mike McCarthy with the knowing that Deion Sanders is going, similarly to Robert Kraft moving on from Mayo knowing that Mike Vrabel's coming?
Yeah, Jerry, this would work, man. I think people don't understand that. Here's how I feel about Jerry Jones. If you're not an alpha, then I'll be your alpha. Bars. So when he brings in Deion, he doesn't have to be the control freak he always has been. He can actually sit back and say, let's see what can happen here. Yeah, he gonna help make some decisions. He gonna be like, I like this guy, but Prime gonna run the show. Jerry knows what he's asking for when he goes to talk to Deion Sanders about the job. He knows what he's asking for. This whole notion that, yeah, but Jerry Jones is going to be making decisions and all that. Jerry Jones know what he's asking for. What he's asking for is a collaborative effort, but I will give you the keys, Deion. Something I haven't given anybody. Nobody's here. But I'll give you the keys, and I'll sit back for 3 to 4 years and see if you can rev the engine, if you can get that car to go. And you know, Jerry, he's still going to be in the room and everything. And as Deion's making the decisions, he's going to humble himself. And Jerry's going to agree even if he doesn't, just to feel like he's making the decisions.
So you think it's going to happen, though?
I think that he's going to offer the job. I don't know if it's going to happen, though, Richie. I knew that this was a huge possibility because this will be the biggest PR that the Dallas Cowboys have ever had. I'm telling you, bigger than when they were winning Super Bowls. This will be the biggest PR ever. You're talking about the most attention-based team. They'll get 8 primetime games, Richie.
Get it? Primetime? Get it? I see. Yeah. I see what you did there.
They'll get 8. They'll get the most primetime games probably of all time.
Not more than the Jets.
Just like Colorado did. Colorado was on TV every week for the most part, more than any team in the country. This is massive. But here's the problem here. Deion ain't doing it if he ain't coaching his son, Richie.
Yeah.
I don't think and for those who are like, oh, Colorado, he wouldn't do them like that. He did Jackson State like that. Y'all forget what happened at Jackson State, what landed him in Colorado? Y'all forgetting that it's about evolving to the next level, putting Deion's goal. He told people this a few years ago when they were mad that he left Jackson State and left those boys behind. He said, my goal is to get to the next level so that I could give those boys a better opportunity and exposure. And he brought some of them kids over to a bigger school, bigger program, giving them an opportunity. And now, getting on the NFL level, now I could go scout these HBCUs. Now I could actually potentially draft some of these guys that I know got it that would otherwise not get an opportunity. So that's what this has always been about for Deion. But the element of him coaching his son has to be present as well. And this is why I'm telling you, if Jerry wants to do this, he has to also understand that he needs to move heaven and earth. He needs to be on the phone right now talking to people about potential trades for Dak Prescott to move up in this draft to make sure that he know he's going to get his son. Because Deion going to do the rest. If Jerry says, I'm going to do all I can to draft your son, you just need to do your part to make sure he don't go nowhere but Dallas. And I'm going to try to trade Dak Prescott, then Deion will be on board. And Jerry got to go get to work. with one of these teams, calling these teams saying, well, I've spoken to Deion and he said that he doesn't think it's right for his son to go there. So I feel like we can send you back and that's what'll end up happening. So it can be real. It just depends on is he going to be coaching his son, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, hearing him say that I'm not going into the NFL unless I'm coaching my son tells you that it's probably not going to happen unless he pulls off something. I mean, I know that you think that Deion has leverage in the draft if he is the Cowboys guy by telling people this, that, and the third. And I don't really want to get back into that debate again because I just don't know if you know the value of the NFL draft. I could teach you.
What's the player? Do they have the player value chart, Richie?
Yeah, if you put the value chart, if we use that calculator, everything you said would have been proven. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, but that's okay. I understand. Sanders.
I'm talking about Dak Prescott. What is his value on a chart?
I don't think you can evaluate a specific player's trade value on a chart. It's more draft pick value based off of like stuff like that. Like if the Cowboys wanted to trade Dak Prescott, I'll tell you this much. It's going to be an interesting situation there. But I think that there's a lot of decisions that Jerry Jones and company needs to make. And you are right. If the Cowboys do hire Deion Sanders, I mean, you talk about the Dallas Cowboys, they're America's team. Like, they are Dallas is a big market, but, like, they are the market of the NFL. Like, they're not the number one market in the country, Dallas.
But the NFL
but they're the NFL market. So I feel like that would be massive, and I'm wondering if Roger Goodell's like, make this happen, man. What that would bring.
This has league implications.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell would be involved in this, Richie. All the owners would understand what needs to happen here.
Hit that like button, everybody. We really do appreciate everybody tuning in to Wake Up and Ball. We're live weekdays, 8:30 a.m. EST, giving you guys all the latest news around sports world. Roundtable Sports is an official media credentialed company because of you all. All right, we're going to the Super Bowl. We got to get official, man.
You know,
what's up? No. Go.
No, I just thought about something on this topic, though, Richie.
What's that?
You know, the difference here between LeBron and his son is that Shedeur is actually good.
Is he, though? Hey, don't sleep on Bronny, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Bryce James coming.
Hey, I think he going to be the one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think he going to be the one.
That's what I'm saying now. Come on.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, this isn't like a favoritism.
I got to do homework on Sanders, dude. I really do. I don't know if I see the hype yet.
Here's what it is, Richie. You know what's weird about Sanders? He isn't a Lamar.
Can you give him a player comparison? Somebody in the
That's
league.
what I was just thinking in my head. Like, who is Sanders?
How big is he? Isn't he kind of?
He's not that big.
I know. He's I think the Giants would be fun for him. So he can be a bust. I hate the Giants. 6'2". That's not too small. I thought he was gonna be smaller than that.
Oh, I thought it was like 6 or 6'1". What makes sense? He got a little
6'2",
extra.
216.
Who does he remind me of? What's a good comp?
Guys, let us know a Sanders comp.
How tall is Brady?
Someone said, is he like, okay, shut up. Someone said, is he like Bryce Young?
You know, I kept thinking Bryce in my head, like the more recent version, by the way.
Who's, by the way, about to take over the league next year.
You know what? Let me give you this. The new and improved Bryce Young with better leadership, dog mentality, and poise. Better in like his mental.
Bryce Young was balling, bro.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That version can make every throw. The only thing about Sanders, I'm telling everybody, you got to protect him. And he can take a hit, but you got to give him time, and he's going to be surgical on the field. There ain't many misfires, bro. That's the thing about Sanders. There's not many, oh, that was a bad throw. Oh, that was a bad throw. There ain't many of those at all. And people forget, the man was trained by Tom Brady. And then Brady picked him up under the brand. Like, he got it, Richie, but you got to give him an O-line time to throw the football.
Yeah, I mean, that's with every quarterback. Let's be honest.
But it's different. He's not the kind that can overcome it per se. He going to keep on at it. He going to keep on tipping, but he's not the escaper. Like, he's not a high level like Mahomes improvisational guy. He can improvise, but he can take some nasty sacks that you don't want him to take.
Like who?
Yards.
What's your example?
I say he's not like an improviser like Mahomes.
Who's the best in the league at that?
Exactly.
Because he's the best talent in the league.
You get him a Jared Goff O-line situation, Sanders is going to ball out day one. Sanders is going to throw for 4,500 yards rookie year. You protect him. And get him weapons, of course. He needs some receivers. But he's a really good quarterback, Richie.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Now, another player coming out of that draft is Travis Hunter. Where do you think the ideal landing spot for Hunter is? You look at the draft order. You got the Titans, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jaguars. You think he's going top 10? Top 5 at least?
Has to. Because if he doesn't, somebody will trade up to make sure he does. The first team is involved in a quarterback. We know that, right? The second team, who is that?
Cleveland.
They'll be involved in a quarterback. Who's third?
Giants.
They'll be involved in a quarterback. This is why I'm saying this is where potentially Dak comes into play. All three teams will be involved in a quarterback. Maybe Cleveland gets off of it. I don't know. And who's fourth?
Patriots.
I keep saying the Patriots got to take Hunter.
Right now, according to Tankathon, their mock draft has Sanders going 1 to Tennessee, Ward to the Browns, Travis Hunter to the Giants at 3. And
Who
then
quarterback?
and then Abdul Carter, number 4.
Isn't this a year where they said we're keeping our general manager and head coach in Dayball?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that considered hot seat? So,
yeah, they could go the veteran route.
Aaron Rodgers or something like that, Russell Wilson. I don't know, man. It's difficult. Well, I'm gonna still go Patriots. Take Travis Hunter, and I think that the Giants could actually take Gentry to, because of the mistake they made with Saquon.
So I think that's going to be interesting. Well, there's a long way to go. I know that we're talking draft right now when we're in the heart of the playoffs. We got a long way to go. The Senior Bowl, which I'll be at to really evaluate this, but it's going to be interesting. I don't know if you watched the Orange Bowl with Penn State and Notre Dame, but there's a guy that flashed in that game that is, I was hoping that it even can fall to the Jets at 7, the edge rusher from Penn State, Abdul Carter. Oh my God, that boy was everywhere. And he's mocked to go to the Patriots at number 4. He's a top pick. He's going to be phenomenal. So Abdul Carter, one of the best players in this entire draft class, is a freaking stud. I mean, he was bodying that right tackle every single time he had an opportunity. So I feel like it's going to be a good opportunity to see where everybody lands in the NFL draft. But we got a long way to go before we go deeper into the draft. Let's get into the head coaching search again. Now, Mike McCarthy's leaving Dallas. Where could he go? Where could he go? The Bears and Saints have scheduled interviews. There's rumors about, him going to the Saints. There's rumors about him maybe going to Chicago. Where do you think the best spot for Mike McCarthy is? Go to Chicago and help develop Caleb Williams? Go to New Orleans where there's not really a quarterback on that team? I mean, you got Derek Carr, you got Spencer Rat-tat-tat. I mean, is Mike McCarthy also one of the best options out there from a head coaching standpoint, from a resume perspective. Do you trust him in Chicago or New Orleans?
From a resume standpoint, absolutely. But I just feel like his time is passing. Like, just like Aaron Rodgers, like that was old news, that what was built in the past. I feel like he's a placeholder coach now, and I think that he's going to end up with the Saints. I think that the right move here is for him to end up with the Saints. I know you want to hear that because of Aaron Glenn.
Oh, just wait till I tell you the latest news that we're getting about the Jets. Just wait. You're not going to like it. Go
on. I'm not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't I like it? Oh, you're getting Aaron Glenn the coop to do.
Nope, not him.
Well, it ain't who the other person is.
Oh, just wait till you hear about it. Uh-oh.
And I want to talk to you about that because I've been seeing Jets fans who are like, absolutely not. Like, they just, like, I'm like, anyway, but I think he needs to be with the Saints, a placeholder coach where they can start to figure out. Because remember, they never really recovered from the cap and they kept making it worse. They just keep kicking the can every year trying to make something. This team needs like a 2-year sit and chill, play some games, keep winning 6 games, and now let's build something situation. So I think he needs to be on the Saints.
Okay. Mike McCarthy to New Orleans. And let's get into this specific coach first. Aaron Glenn, favorite for the Jets job. This is an interesting one. Aaron Glenn, he's also a big favorite to New Orleans. So it's either the Jets or the Saints for Aaron Glenn. I may think the Saints are the favorite over the Jets, but we shall see. According to Adam Schefter, it feels like the New York Jets coaching search is expanding. I believe Aaron Glenn is in play there. Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are both going to get jobs in this hiring cycle, according to Adam Schefter. So where do you think Aaron Glenn goes? Obviously, we have to see where Mike McCarthy lands. So we shall see. Where do you think Aaron Glenn is going to end up? Is he going to go home to the Jets or to New Orleans where he was a defensive backs coach? I mean, he's got ties to both of those organizations. And obviously, we got to see what he looks like in the playoffs this upcoming weekend. Like, do you think Aaron Glenn is built to be a head coach?
I think he'll be. I think he'll end up with the Saints, though. I think McCarthy should be over there, but he'll end up with the Saints. They're gonna go with the best option they could possibly have, offer him a lot of money, and yeah, I mean that's a good place to be too from an ownership standpoint. I don't think you have to worry about ownership getting in your way. You can really try to do everything you need to do, and they'll give you ample amount of opportunities to build whatever it is you're trying to build. So I think Aaron Glenn ends up with the Saints.
All right.
It's a good story coming back home to the Jets, but I don't know about that.
All right. Well, if you think Glenn is going to the Saints, you know who's going to the Jets then? According to Connor Hughes, there's a rumor circulating that the New York Jets could be plucking the Minnesota Vikings, getting Brian Flores as the head coach, Josh McCown as the offensive coordinator, and Ryan Grigson as the general manager, all coming from Minnesota. This is the latest reports. This is what's circulating around the NFL. And according to Connor Hughes, they've even talked about it in Minnesota's building as this being a potential. Ryan Grigson talked to the Jets. Josh McCown and Brian Flores are scheduled to meet with the Jets this week. And according to him, people in the Minnesota building even talked about this as a potential. Because if you're the Minnesota Vikings, that's a big deal. You're missing your defensive coordinator, your quarterback coach. The people within the organization of the Minnesota Vikings thinking to themselves, oh, if this is going to happen, we got to be prepared because we got to find a new DC, we got to find a new quarterback coach, we got to find a new executive. So there's an actual momentum here. What are your thoughts of the Jets potentially plucking? Connor Hughes of SNY, who's been recording for the Jets for years. He's reliable. He doesn't make things up.
I know. But I thought they were looking at McCown as a head coach.
They are. But that also tells me that, you're interviewing him as a head coach. You're getting intel of him being an OC potentially. I think Josh McCown's got to be an OC before head coach, personally. I think he's going to be a future head coach in this league, though, Josh McCown. He's got that.
You know what I'm going to be honest with you, what I didn't like about what the Jets interviewing both of them. I feel like that they're interviewing Josh McCown to know more about Flores. how was Flores' interaction on the offensive side of the football while in Minnesota? I think that's what's happening here. Yeah, they're going to interview him, but they might even let him know, we feel that you're up and coming. We do have some good candidates. We do have some questions for you, though. What was your relationship like and this and that? I think that's what's going to be happening in the interviews, because they want to know if Brian Flores is actually, interacting with the whole team and doing all that stuff because of the reports out of Miami. I think that's an element here. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know what to think about it. I'm not gonna lie, it could happen, Richie, but it's not gonna happen.
What's not gonna happen?
Both of them going over to
because you don't want it to happen, or you just really don't think it's gonna happen.
Why won't they just promote the man in Minnesota?
Promote who?
McCown.
Promote him to what?
OC.
Because he's not calling the plays still. Kevin O'Connell calls the plays. This gives Josh McCown a chance to call plays.
I know, but they haven't even given him the title though, right?
What title?
Of OC.
Yeah, but becoming an OC with Minnesota or an OC for the Jets, it's still a completely different job. OC with the Jets under Flores gives you the full reign of being the
offense.
You're basically the coach of that offense. OC under KOC in Minnesota, you're just like the consultant.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's a promotion for him to actually prove that he's head coach ready. He would go with Flores, and I think Flores would just smile from ear to ear to have him, because that's the big question. Can Flores bring in a good OC? That's the only question. Trust me, your defense, don't worry about your defense, especially with the talent that the Jets got. It ain't even close to the talent in Minnesota versus the Jets. Now, he going to change some things up, but I promise that would be a nightmare defense. I mean, people don't understand. Go look at Minnesota's talent and go look at Jets' talent. Minnesota's talent looked better this year, but that's only because of scheme. He got all them guys to buy in, not worry about numbers, and they looked up, oh, look at the numbers. And I think the same thing would happen in New York. I think y'all would have a number one defense. You got the trenches, you got the linebackers. In the secondary, I think y'all might be losing a player or two, but that's Flores' specialty. So
okay, man, now if this is a done deal, hypothetically.
And it's not, but go ahead.
See, this is proof that you do not want this to happen.
I mean, I would like Flores to get another opportunity. I just don't.
You're gonna be a Jets fan.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want it to be with the. No, I would be. Man, Flores would be the.
Hey, you gonna be Jets fan if this happens, man.
You a lie. Listen,
you know it, man. You gonna be Jets fan if this happens.
He will finally be my enemy. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, we're gonna sweep those Dolphins.
Hey,
easy.
If he signed with the Jets, the moment he do, he overrated.
Oh my God. Do you think Brian Flores deserves another chance as the head coach? And do you think he could be able to deal with the media of the New York market, the Johnsons above him? I mean, we know how incompetent the Jets have been for years. Could Brian Flores be the guy to change the dynamic of the Jets? Like, is he built for that? I mean, I don't even know if he is.
If anybody's built for it, is him. And don't forget, that's his stomping grounds. He's a native. His attitude, his demeanor, he's a native. That New York Jersey type attitude, that's who he is. But yeah, he will be does he deserve to be a head coach again? Absolutely. People just want to. This is about the whole Tua thing blew everything out of proportion. Everybody want to go to the Tua thing. The man's already admitted he could have handled things better. He's learned, he's grown from it. And at the end of the day, he deserves an opportunity to show that versus, oh, you'll never be given another opportunity. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. And I think you want to know the biggest benefit, Richie? If him and McCown came, you don't have to worry about the overall power struggle, because look at his dynamic with KOC now. KOC is the head coach, but he let Brian Flores do his thing, and KOC comes and have conversations. I think he would do the same thing with McCown. You handle that offense. I'll come. We'll talk about some things I like, what I don't like, but ultimately you're responsible for it. And we run our units. Let's do this together. This is really like a head coach A, head coach B. And that's how KOC's treating it in Minnesota. So yeah, it's whoever gets Flores, if they get McCown too, you're gonna have a powerful combination. Whoever gets them. I think those two need to come together though.
All right. Well, we shall see. I think it's between Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, the favorites to land the Jets job. Maybe there's a dark horse, Joe Brady, other guys out there as well that the Jets could definitely be considering coming in to being the next Jets head coach. All right, TD. The moment has come. Let's talk about some of these games, man. Woo! Texans, Chiefs. Now, it's not the wild card. It's divisional. But what are your thoughts of this game? Do the Texans have a shot in the gun range to upset the Chiefs, who have, by the way, I saw the stat line. I mean, Patrick Mahomes' numbers in the divisional round is staggering. I mean, it's like off the charts. He's never lost in a divisional game. He's been to the championship every single season he's been in the league. And his numbers, statistically, I think this is his best round in the playoffs as an NFL quarterback, is the divisional round. Do you think we're going to see that version of Mahomes? Or is it going to be another game where Mahomes looks just average, 200-something yards, 2 touchdowns, and they just win in a way that's just ugly? Or do the Texans actually have a chance here?
The Texans don't have a shot.
They don't got a shot?
No.
No shot.
The main element of this game, which no one will talk about this week, the Chiefs defense gonna make Stroud look exactly like Herbert, Jordan Love, all these guys that bummed out this week. The Chiefs defense is gonna take care of business in this game. It doesn't matter what the offense does, man. They're gonna do enough. They'll do enough to score 24 points. That's just so Chiefs. 24. And the defense will hold you to 13-17. So that's what this game is going to come down to. I think that the Houston Texans defense will play well against the Chiefs offense, but not well enough. That's what it's going to come down to. You have to match the Chiefs, and the Houston Texans can't match the Chiefs. They just can't. And even in from a coaching standpoint, come on, man. Andy Reid had the game plan last week before he even seen him play. He know what it's gonna take to win this game, and they gonna dink and dunk the heck out of the Texans defense. So the only way that the Texans get in this game is if the supporting cast doesn't show up. Kelsey and all the boys dropping passes. Like, what's wrong with them? That's the only way. This is everybody knows what's going to happen, which makes me wonder, should we bet for the Texans? Because, the way things been going has been totally opposite. So, but no, Kansas City will be in another AFC championship game against Baltimore, of course.
CJ Stroud coming out there, 2 playoff wins. He fumbled in the divisional round last year. I mean, what if he was out there and balls again? You know what I mean?
Stop, Richie. Just stop.
Just saying. I mean, I got the Chiefs winning this game 100%. And I feel like what it looks like from the outside, I'm taking the Chiefs all day. All day long. And you look at the stats on the screen here, TD. Look at the numbers. What are your reactions to these numbers?
Yeah, man. Patrick Mahomes, solid. Moving forward, that's just solid. I don't even see it as great, but it's solid. It just looks like a quarterback that's not losing games for his team now and doing his part to win, but not carrying. And not to say Mahomes can't carry. We all know he can, but he's not having to. and he's doing his job. CJ Stroud, on the other hand, he's there, has moments of contribution, and then other moments of not really contributing. So that's the difference between these two stat lines here in these two players this year. But we saw a more clutch CJ Stroud in that last game in the playoffs, in the big stage when it mattered most. Will that continue? See, this is the game where quarterbacks like CJ Stroud can elevate his name in the upper echelon. It's just so highly unlikely that he will. But if he does, these are the games that make you. You knock Mahomes off right here and you play well. These are the games that elevate you above that mid to upper tier quarterbacks, and it puts you not elite, but up there with some of the better guys now. So yeah, we'll see. And it's taking the next step, Richie.
It's true that. Flick says, what's a good comp for Cam Ward and his strength? You're a Cam Ward fan. Why don't you tell the people, who is his player comparison, TD? Cam Ward.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, come on. Let's be realistic.
I'm giving you my comp. But I actually maybe even give Cam Ward the edge on mobility. Richie, you really haven't paid attention to these college quarterbacks, have you? Have you seen Cam Ward play a game this year?
I have, yes.
Which one?
I see no resemblance of Patrick Mahomes.
Which one did you see him play?
I watched tape of him. I didn't watch a live game.
Oh, you must be watching him back there just chilling, huh? Just chilling.
He can move. I'm not saying the mobility isn't there, and he can be up there, for a good mobility, but come on, bro.
Come on, what?
What are we doing?
Who was a better player? Cam Ward in college or Patrick Mahomes in college? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I don't know, but I know. I'll tell you this. Cam Ward will never sniff Mahomes in the NFL.
Why? Well, you'll say that about everybody, though, Richie.
Yeah, because, I will say that about everybody. Why? Why would I say that about everybody?
Because Patrick Mahomes is the second greatest player.
Behind who?
So far. Behind Tom Brady.
Oh. Is that so?
Yeah.
Dude, you're glazing Mahomes. You can't say that. You can't say anything good about Mahomes. You're glazing him, bro.
Man, I'm an honest guy, man. I'm an honest guy, Richie. That's all it is.
Truth hurts. People get upset when I appreciate greatness. He's the second greatest quarterback we've seen behind Tom Brady. I agree. I've been saying this, TD, and I've been getting ripped apart for saying those things.
You know who about to catch him?
Who?
And you know what's funny about this? Because we always talk about Josh Allen, what it'll take for him to catch Mahomes. But who's closer to Mahomes as far as like having an opportunity to catch him, Lamar or Josh?
Lamar.
Easily.
But the truth of that will hurt because, see, this is where I don't want to make it. When we say these things, it sounds like we're hating on Josh Allen. But let's be honest here. When it comes to, like when I said a few months ago, which pissed off so many Bills fans, that it's going to take a long time for Josh Allen to catch up to Mahomes, and they're not even close. And then we got into this argument about talent. You think Allen's more talented than Mahomes. I personally still don't see that at all. Is it close to talent? Yes. The talent is a close thing. I think Mahomes is here talent-wise, and Josh Allen's like right here. Like I don't think that's close. I don't think that's far away. But when it comes to career and legacy, Mahomes is like on another stratosphere right now, and Josh Allen has a long way to catch up. And that is just am I wrong for saying that?
You're not wrong. But guess what? Guess who can virtually catch up to Mahomes in 2 years?
It would take more than 2 years, but I know what you're saying.
So are you mean to tell me if Lamar Jackson wins back-to-back Super Bowls right here, he's not right there having the having the potentially 3 MVPs?
He's right under him. Yes.
Yeah, right under. But listen,
right there.
They could win a Super Bowl this year. And then if they run it back with Derrick Henry next year and another weapon, they might double up, and Lamar would be right there with Mahomes.
No, I agree. If the Ravens win back-to-back Super Bowls, Lamar Jackson's still under him, but he's right under him. In order to catch him, let's not forget, like I feel like people are deleting what Mahomes has accomplished in his career with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they like just say, oh, well, it's because of Andy Reid, and they do all these things and discrediting what Mahomes has done. He's never not been to an AFC championship game. Like, that's unbelievable, first of all, in his entire career, right? He has 3 Super Bowl rings. 3! He's been in the league for how long? 5 years? 5 seasons? 3 Super Bowl rings? That's absurd. So when I say that, from a legacy standpoint, Josh Allen is miles behind Mahomes. And you could argue from a legacy standpoint, Lamar Jackson is ahead of Josh Allen.
This is true. And here's the thing. At least Lamar has a little bit of an
excuse. Even Joe Burrow.
I mean, yeah, Lamar got a little bit of an excuse. Some of those years he was hurt.
But when it comes to legacy, like, how do you define legacy, right? It's accomplishments, it's accolades, and how far do you go? And you look at what Joe Burrow has done. What has he done that Josh Allen hasn't? What has he done that Josh Allen hasn't?
Beat Mahomes.
And go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, hold on. The Bills, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, that's a big deal here. Now, if Josh Allen beats the Chiefs this year and goes to the Super Bowl loses in the Super Bowl, then he's tied with Joe Burrow. That's Joe Burrow did that once. But if he goes to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, he leaps over Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow.
He ahead of Burrow if he goes to the Super Bowl, even if he loses, because he's done so much more in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, I know. If he's ahead of Burrow. If he wins the Super Bowl, he's ahead of both Lamar and Burrow.
But Lamar is the only one behind Mahomes.
As of today, but we're entering
he's the number 2 from a legacy standpoint.
And I mean, we could talk about this game all week long. This game is gonna really be. This is the legacy game, bro. This is the legacy game coming up.
Yeah.
Richie. This is the legacy game, bro.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh man. Ain't even close. Take it off the screen, Richie. It ain't even close. I can't believe they trying to get his man the MVP. I still can't. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. Look at the rating. Literally a 17-point difference.
What are we talking about? What do you think, man?
Oh, we're previewing this game?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the stats and looking at everything.
It's going to be a blowout, Richie.
All right. Let's be realistic, TD.
Why am I not being realistic? The first time was a blowout earlier this year. This is a matchup nightmare for Buffalo, Richie. It's a nightmare, bro. Like, literally, they will not be able to comprehend how to stop this situation. They're going to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. If you want to stop him, Lamar's going off. If you want to be balanced, it's going to be pound and ground. And Buffalo ain't going to be able to keep up with that. This is a matchup nightmare for Buffalo. Buffalo Bills fans know this. So much to the point that now they're trying to say, well, it's going to be 8 degrees. That should make a difference. Now we're talking about the temperature in 2 cold weather teams. Well, they've never played in 8 degrees. Well, how many times have the Bills played, this regime of the Bills played in 8 degrees? Once, maybe? Like, come on, man. These are 2 cold weather teams. That 8 degrees going to cut for everybody on the field the same way. And who's going to win the ground battle? I'm telling you now, Baltimore's defense is not letting Cook go off like that. They're not letting Cook, but Derrick Henry going off.
Well, someone in the chat says, "Hello, Richie, how many NFC title games did Andy play in before Mahomes? You make 0 cents. How many AFC title games did Andy Reid be in before Mahomes came to the Chiefs? Because let's not forget, Andy Reid was the coach of the Chiefs for how long? 4 or 5 years before they started Mahomes? TD, guess how many AFC championship games the Chiefs made before Mahomes came there?
Well, yeah,
0.
I didn't
0. Were they a good team with Alex Smith? Yeah, they were good, but they were not great. They drafted Mahomes. They became great. Was Andy Reid a great coach in Philadelphia? Absolutely. No one's saying he wasn't. But let's not act like the Chiefs were in the AFC Championship game with Andy Reid before Mahomes got there. Mahomes got there, and they've never not been to the AFC title game. And they'll be back there again this year. So I don't know what you're trying to say. Is Andy Reid a great coach? Yes. But at the end of the day, Mahomes was the missing piece of Andy Reid. And now you're seeing a dynasty before your eyes. But getting back to the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills game, I mean, you see the stats on your screen. This is passing numbers, of course. If you want to add the rushing numbers, Lamar has a lot of yards. Josh Allen has a lot of rushing touchdowns. And then you got to add the fumbles. So there's a lot of different things, right? This game is going to be absolute cinema. I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top. And it just comes down to, like, this is why they put this game on Sunday, the last game of the weekend. And TD, this is the game that we're covering together, right? Roundtable cast?
Yep.
There's 4 games this week.
What time is this game?
6:30. 6:30. It's the prime time on Sunday. So, folks, there's 4 games this weekend. We introduced the Roundtable cast this past weekend for Wildcard Weekend, where TD and I react and call the games together. And we're going to do one game this upcoming weekend. It's going to be this one. All right? So stay tuned. We're going to be live on this channel. Woo-hoo-hoo. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, man.
I can't wait for, you know what I love of the fact that it's at 6:30? The game will be over at around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And it gives me a lot. It gives me like from 10 to 12 to just go live and talk about how the Buffalo Bills window was actually closed.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be a great post game too, boy. I can't wait.
You really got that much confidence?
Richie, this is already done. The Bills are at home and they're the underdog. Let that sink in. The Buffalo Bills, the almighty Buffalo Bills, who got like a better record, are at home and they're the underdog. Why you think, Richie? It ain't just me.
Well, let's look. They're not the underdog currently. It's even. If you guys want to check out
it's even, but you're home, Richie.
If you want to check out BetUS Sportsbook, folks, the #1 online sportsbook is right here. Check them out by using the code YouTube150 when you sign up today. You look at the odds for these games in the divisional round. The Ravens-Bills game is even. Woo! I mean, it keeps flipping. It keeps flipping. You can't even bet the money line, man, because the money line is on the spread because it's even. So it's going to be a good one. Do you think this is going to hit the over or under 51
What's the score?
points?
Hold up. It's going over, man.
Is it going to be a shootout type of game, not defense?
Oh, no. I just got Baltimore like 45 to 10. So
you don't trust their defense, Buffalo?
Let me see. What was the score the last time they played, Richie?
In Baltimore.
It doesn't matter. What was the score last time? Because they were chilling in the fourth quarter, by the way.
I don't know what it was. Wasn't close though, but I think this is gonna be a close game. I think you're blowing out you're riling up too much. You got to give the Bills a little bit of credit here.
So last time, Richie, it was 35 to 10. Okay, and I want to remind people here. Josh Allen was 16 for 29, 180 with no touchdowns, but he had no picks. He didn't even turn the ball over. So remember that. All right? Lamar Jackson was only 13 for 18, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns and no picks. Like just coasting. But Derrick Henry ran for 24 carries, 199 yards, Richie. 199. Let that sink in. The man ran for 199, Richie. Oh, Bills in trouble. They just kept handing the ball. And Lamar ran 6 times for 54 yards. They literally put up 265 yards rushing in the game. No, 272. 271. Yeah, 271 rushing yards, Richie. 271, bro. Like, they finna run the ball down Buffalo throat in a cold game. Would you want to run the ball? They're in trouble, man.
Well, we'll see. We got all week to preview it. Bills, Ravens, it's even. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Lino TV. Uh-oh.
Lino know
TD always hating and never write about a thing.
Lino know what time it is. James Cook had 40 rushing yards in that game. Y'all know what time it is. It ain't even going to be close, Richie.
Flick Shorts with a $5 super chat says, if Cam Ward goes into the league, what will be his strength and ability, and what does he need around him? Will he need for then Sanders? Who better?
Nobody.
What do you think?
What does he need around him? He don't need nobody. I mean, everybody need a good team, but he's the kind of guy that can carry you. I mean, if you watch Hurricanes games, you see how bad that team was, how bad that defense was, Richie. I mean, the man got to win. The man got to win 45-44 every week. So, listen, Cam Ward going to be that dude. I think he's going to be better than C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, all of those guys.
You think he's going to have a C.J. Stroud type of – you got to see where he goes first?
Yeah, I got to see where he goes first, but he could easily have the best rookie year we've seen in 4 years.
I'm sorry, TD, but you're reeking of bias.
I'm not. Listen, I'm loyal to the Hurricanes. All right, that's my team, but I don't watch the Hurricanes until week 7, and they got to at least be 6-1 by the end for me to watch. So when I see 5-2, yep, same old. We ain't recovered since Ohio State. The referees robbed us back in 01 or whatever year it was. We ain't been the same since when they took all them scholarships and stuff away.
All right, we have to investigate a chat. Jets forever. Nobody mentions this. Josh Allen is awful after the wild card round. I don't know if this is true. Let me stat check. Let me fact check this, Jets forever. What do we do? Josh Allen stats in divisional round. I mean, he only has one game in the divisional round? No. Last year against the Chiefs, 186 yards and a touchdown.
Trash. Pedestrian.
I got to see the career. Oh, here it is. We had the career one. So his career numbers in the divisional, I mean, it's not terrible. 6 touchdowns and 1 interception in his 4 divisional games. That's not terrible. Completion percentage 65%.
In 4 games, Richie?
246 yards per game, 6 touchdowns. Yes, in 4 games.
1.5 touchdowns per game?
One game he had 4 touchdowns, and that was the 13 seconds game.
Then he bad. That means he had 2 touchdowns in the other 3 games?
Yeah, I'll show you it right here.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
You see it on your screen now?
Yeah. He bad in the divisional round. Call it what it is, Richie. Call it what it is.
You call it what it is. I'm not saying
the man. Listen. Oh well, my pleasure. Versus Baltimore, 62% completion with 1 touchdown. And remember, that's Baltimore. I keep trying to tell you, he got problems with Baltimore. He went off on the Chiefs, still lost because he got bumped by Shakir or whatever. The other one was the Bengals. 59.5% completion percentage and no touchdowns. That's Josh Allen. And the last one versus the Chiefs, another pedestrian game, 186 yards and only 1 touchdown. He's played like a elite player in 1 game, and he still blew that one. You ask me. Ooh, divisional round for Josh Allen. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
He was in 1 championship game?
Yeah, so, I believe so.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. Or did he get to it? What? When did he face? Did he face the Chiefs in the championship one year?
He's only been to 1 AFC championship game, right?
Yeah.
So people are right. He's like 1-5 after the wild card round or something. 1-4.
Well, this is Josh Allen's chance right here this season.
Yeah.
2020 was when he was in the AFC title game. So I think that Josh Allen has a chance to right the wrongs of all the stuff we're talking about. I think he has a big chance to do it. Go out there, beat the Ravens. Go out there, beat the Chiefs. Go out there in the Super Bowl, beat the Lions or whoever's waiting for you. I mean, look, I mean, we're just basing this off of previous history, and he has a chance right here to rewrite his own history and demand a legacy. If Josh Allen goes out there on Sunday, beats Lamar Jackson, outplays him, goes to Kansas City, beats Mahomes, outplays him, goes to the Super Bowl, and wins it, then everything about Josh Allen I will give him his flowers and say he is now a champion, and he's now officially one of the all-time greats. I'll even say that.
His roster ain't good enough to beat this Baltimore Ravens. That's the problem.
You think so?
We know that Josh is a great quarterback, man. His roster ain't ready to beat this Baltimore team. He can be a hero all he wants, but that ain't coming out when another hero on the field with a better roster. That's the point. That's the point. That's why Bills know. The Bills fans know. They're just very hopeful because they beat the Lions and the Chiefs this year. They're very hopeful. So they're chucking that first Baltimore game as, well, it was early in the season, but then later on we got our bearings. Say what you want.
All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see. All right, folks. That's going to wrap up this show on Wake Up and Ball, brought to you by Roundtable Sports. We will see you after this show on The Huddle later today at 3 p.m. Much love to everybody. Any final words to the chat? TD? That's watching.
Thanks for tuning in. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all as always. At the end of the day, we're going to get a lot of answers this week, all right? So a lot of Bills fans keep coming through mad at me. Hey, Monday, I'll eat crow. But I think we know what time it is. Some of y'all ain't even going to show up Monday.
All right. So, TD's calling you guys out. Much love to BetUS for sponsoring the show. We got another big show tomorrow morning to preview it all and break down everything around the league. Appreciate everybody. All right. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. We'll see you at 3 p.m. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning into this show. Same time, same place tomorrow morning. We are out.